Hello everyone, I'm Dilshad Azim. I'm a senior HR professional based in Chennai with a little over 15 years in this field, spanning HR business partnering, talent management, learning and development, and DEI leadership. Right now, I'm with Grunfoods India, and outside of my job, I serve as the chair for the CII Indian Women Network Chennai Zone. If I had to describe the thread that runs through all of it, it's people. Helping them find their footing, helping them grow, and building space where they don't have to shrink themselves to belong. That's really what guided me from my early years at HCL and Tech Mahindra, right up to the DEI and leadership work which I do today. And outside of work, I ride long motorcycle rides, that kind, the kind that takes a full day or long. It's not just a hobby for me, it taught me almost everything I know about leadership. More on that in a bit. There have been few, but I'm but if I'm honest, the ones that shaped me most were the easy wins. They were the moments I had to choose between what was comfortable and what was right. I once had to step back from an opportunity that would have meant relocating for a role. On paper, it was a good move for my career, but it did not align with what mattered to me at that stage of my life. Saying no to it taught me that leadership isn't always about climbing, sometimes it's about knowing exactly what you're climbing for. And honesty, a lot of this philosophy has been shaped on the road, literally on a motorcycle. When you're riding long distance, you can't control the weather, the terrain, or the traffic. What you can control is how to handle it. Your posture, your pace, your presence of mind. Leadership taught me the same thing. You don't always have to get to choose the condition, you choose how you show up in them. One initiative I'm genuinely proud of is the Sunflower Initiative at my current organization, a push around the hidden disabilities and inclusive hiring. The challenge was real. Many organizations talk about the disability inclusion, but very few build the actual scaffolding, the hiring pipeline, the ERGs, the manager sensitization to make it sustainable rather than symbolic. We built the scaffolding, we made progress on white collar hiring milestones, we set up an ability ERG so employees had a real community and voice, and the work was externally recognized, including a CII IBND recommendation. But the number that matter most to me isn't it any report. It's the shift in how people talk about the disability now. Less as a policy line item, more as simply how we operate. More recently, I have been building something close to my heart outside Grunfos, the Here Factor, the inaugural Women Leadership Development Programs under the CII Ivan Chennai Zone. I designed the entire 8 week arc with our team, the facilitator structure, the evaluation framework, the nomination process, because I wanted it to be a real development journey for women and not a one kind of a workshop. I mentor the way I ride with a group. I don't lead for, I don't lead from so far ahead that people lose sight of me, and I don't hang so far back that they lose confidence. I stay close enough to course correct and far enough to let them find their own line. A concrete example, I'm currently building a mentorship program in partnership with the TN Rise Chennai, specifically for women entrepreneurs. And it is going to get launched somewhere between August and October this year. And it is not just about connecting a mentor to a mentee and hoping for the best. I've been designing it with the real structure, clear milestone, accountability, and outcome because good intentions without a framework rarely create a lasting impact. And it isn't only a formal program, it is through CII when I've organized, the members meet, build our annual strategic plans across all the 6 verticals we are currently in, and have created a leadership content series called the Story to Scale, because I believe every women's career story told well becomes someone else's roadmap. When we were building our disability inclusion work at the Grundfos, when what eventually became the Sunflower Initiative. It would have been far easier to keep it small. A quiet awareness session, a poster in the cafeteria, tick the box and move on. Instead, I pushed for something more ambitious, actual white collar here, a hiring milestone, a dedicated ability ERG, real accountability built into the DEI Council's agenda that meant asking for more time, more resource, and more attention from leadership than a lot of people were initially comfortable giving. It would have been the safer route to just show progress on paper, but I've always believed a leader's job isn't to make the comfortable case, it is to make the necessary one, even when it takes longer to land. What guided me was simple. If I wasn't willing to push for depth over optics, I had no business calling it inclusion work. We stayed with it and it eventually earned external recognition, including a CII IBDN commendation. But importantly, it changed how the organization actually hires, not just how it talks about hiring. Stop waiting for the full gear moment. The moment you feel completely ready, completely qualified, completely fearless, it doesn't come. I have been riding long enough to know that you gear up, you check your mirrors, and you ride into conditions you can't fully predict. Leadership is exactly that. Build your community early. Women who will ride alongside you, not just cheer from the sideline. That's what CII Ivan has meant to me. And it's why I keep building spaces like the Her Factor program for other women. And don't underestimate the power of simply telling your story. I have learned that vulnerability, spoken with confidence, is one of the most underrated leadership tool we have. So gear up, find your riding group, and go. Thank you for this opportunity.